Jags Report Live, coming to you live from Sneakers, sponsored by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Proud of you guys for the way you handled this week. I am. And, listen, you're AFC South champs, baby.
Hey, you think he's Coach of the Year? I think he's Coach of the Year for just the third time in the last 50 years. The Jacksonville Jaguars go from worst record to division champs and playoff bound. Dan?
It's unbelievable, and we want to welcome everybody to Sneakers. We're celebrating tonight. We said it would happen, and it did happen, but my, oh my, to close out with 5 straight wins. And guess who's here with us? Give it up for our friend Andre Cisco.
Hey, good to have you back, man. Hey, you started this year with us here on the show. It's a little bit different as you finish it, huh?
Yeah, it's a special week, like I said, so I'm glad to be back.
Hey, we thought maybe you would bring us like some championship shirts and a hat and a cigar or something.
Oh!
Wait a minute. You got it.
South championship right there.
I remember week 1, we had Billy over there in the corner, and Tommy, the Jaguar fan. Kenny was here, and they were cheering loudly, and we kept taking shots. Now we're packed tonight, ready to roll, huh?
Well,
what was that environment like for you as a young player? You played at Syracuse. They'd sell out the Carrier Dome against Clemson and stuff, but what was the environment like Saturday night? About as good as you could have, right?
Yeah, it was special, and like you could always see it through times here, just like the big wins in TIA. But to do it at night and on a stage like that to win the South, title was really big.
And you get to do it again against the LA Chargers Saturday night in prime time here in Jacksonville. The AFC South champs get a home playoff game. The Jags earlier this year went to LA and beat the Chargers 38-10. Dan, really had their number in that game, but they're going to have to beat them twice to keep going.
Yeah, I wonder, Andre, does Coach tell you guys to forget? That game was more than 100 days ago. Mm-hmm. Is the message, hey, put that one away, or is that, hey, let's focus on that? We got the confidence. We know we can handle these guys.
It's similar to playing in your division. That last game doesn't really mean much. You got to do it again. And, as a new NFL player in my second year, I'm not used to playing teams twice a year as often as we do. But it's an advantage in terms of you seeing the players that you played.
And obviously the Chargers are good, and they're dangerous, and they're healthier than they were back then. Here's Doug Peterson on the matchup this week.
I think you go back and you watch it and you see, from an X's and O's standpoint, and personnel standpoint, kind of how we attack them, how they attacked us. This is a good football team. They got a great young quarterback as well, and I know they'll be ready to go. They're looking forward to this opportunity just like we are.
Dan, they're really a good football team, but they only beat one team with a winning record all year. That was the Miami Dolphins, which is interesting, but they are dangerous.
Andre, what is the one thing you remember from that game when you think back? Because this is a long time ago.
Yeah, a team that can spread the field, just multiple playmakers on offense that you got to just keep an eye on.
Yeah.
You saw James Robinson was on the football team, had the big 4th-and-1 play in that game. So that's how much things have changed. 4 different players scored touchdowns in that game for the Jags.
The one thing I remember from that game is that one throw that Herbert had. He's got an arm. He's got a rocket, doesn't he? You got to be ready at all times for him to unleash.
Yeah, and that's what we prepared going into that week is for his arm talent. So.
Well, and the game plan this Saturday will be much like last Saturday for the defense. Make some big-time plays.
It's time for the game plan, sponsored by TIAA Bank.
All right, we've said it 100 times. Andre Cisco, take us through the play. What did you see?
Honestly, I had no idea who forced the fumble. I'm back there playing my deep third, deep half, and the ball came out and Josh scooped it up. No hesitation. Sometimes on plays like that, guys kind of freeze up. Not really sure, but it looked like a routine play for us, and to bring it to the house to win was special.
What was the feeling on the field? They rule touchdown. They're going to review it. It was a quick review, though, man. It happened fast. It was like, hey, it's a touchdown. Let's kick the extra point.
Yeah. I just remember the coaches telling us, sit down, get a break. But I was just too pumped up. I'm not sitting down. We got to finish this game out. So
how good has Rayshon Jenkins been for you guys? The pick 6 against Dallas, obviously, and now this.
Yeah, it's special, and it's what you expect from him. That's why he is who he is, and it's just good to see that the whole league's taking notice.
I want to show you guys this image, all right? Marcel Robinson took this still shot. Look at Arden Key as this play is happening. He's celebrating before the ball's even out, Andre Cisco.
That's a good picture. I don't know what he was thinking here to just know it, but shout out to Arden on that. That's pretty
Maybe
funny.
he was looking for the boombox. He wanted to crank it up a little bit, celebrate with you guys.
Hey, how awesome has Arden Key been? He had one of his career games. I think it was 9 pressures, like all the,
wow.
It was like an 89 whatever on Pro Football Focus. How good has he been for you guys?
Yeah, Art has been definitely a difference maker, even in the locker room. Just having guys like that come from the teams that he's came from and just have the experience, that's what's really brought this team together, I think.
You want to talk about a challenge for a defense, and you knew it was coming, right? You knew Derrick Henry was going to get the ball a lot. He got it 30 times, but you guys did a tremendous job on him. He never really got going. The one big run he had, they cheated to have it. There was a hole, so it was called back.
And it was obvious.
What's it like going against him and knowing that you had to do that, though?
It's just a play-to-play mentality. You know, you can't stop him twice and then be happy about it. You got to do it all 3 downs and do it all throughout the 4 quarters. So, yeah, I don't know what the numbers were, but I think we did a pretty good job.
Yeah, you did. 30 carries, 109 yards, and people see 109 yards, but 30 carries, 109, that's a good job on the defensive side to stop Derrick Henry.
Power Play of the Week, sponsored by IBEW Local 177, powering Jacksonville since 1912.
Well, this kind of set it off, right? Welcome to Jacksonville, Florida on a Saturday night, a fantastic rendition of the national anthem, and then the place was electric. Let's talk more about it. Our Power Play Dan of the week is the crowd, because they brought it on Saturday night.
Well, we haven't seen it like that in a long time around here, Andre, and so it stood out to us. And just look at that when you're on the field and you look up and you just see nothing but teal and a sea of fans, and we didn't have Titan fans, and we didn't have Niner fans, and we didn't have Cowboy fans. It was all Jag fans. What was that? What was that like for you guys?
I noticed the same thing you just said, like no other fans, all teal, all black jerseys, and I just knew it was packed out by the home team, and so it felt good, especially like you said, on a game like that.
I talked to some players in the locker room after the game. Like, you guys noticed it early, right? Weren't you guys talking a little bit about it before kickoff even?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Just in pregame, you felt the energy. You could see, I usually warm up outside, so I see everybody lined up for the early let-in and things like that, so it just felt different.
Is there a snapshot that you'll take with you? Like, if you go vision right now Saturday night, outside of the scoop and score, was there a moment you looked up and absorbed it all, soaked it in? Is there an image that stands out?
Yeah, honestly, it was the full moon just being over TIA with the fans packed out to the top, and I was pointing at Dewey. I'm like, bro, just look around.
We're just fortunate and blessed to have Trevor as our guy, and how much he's improved over the course of the season, and really looking forward to watching him now on this type of stage.
Yeah, aren't we all, right? Trevor Lawrence on this stage. That's why you drafted him #1 overall, and he's not shy on this stage, but he does have to play a little bit better, make a couple more plays than he did the other night.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting, and Andre, you're a young player, you're going to be around for a while. It's going to be an interesting AFC for the next decade or so with Trevor, Mahomes, who you've already faced, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, and the guy that you guys are playing on Saturday night. Those are really 5 really good young quarterbacks.
Yeah, like you said, it'll keep the AFC interesting every year.
Welcome back to Jags Report Live here at Sneakers in Jax Beach. Brent Martineau, Dan Hicken, Andre Cisco, Jaguars safety, part of the AFC South champion Jacksonville Jaguars. But like Doug said, you guys like your guy, don't you?
Oh, we love him. We love him through every situation. We trust him to, just lead us, lead us through battle, and looking forward to watching him, really.
How challenging is this Chargers offense? You guys are just getting in. You had an off day today, so you're going to really get into the game plan, but you've seen them before. Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Eckler, of course. Herbert can make all the throws. They can beat you in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, honestly, I think going into it, our mentality as a secondary got to be it's on us. If we can stop the pass, we give ourselves a huge chance to win. So.
Austin Eckler, 107 receptions this year.
I heard about that. That's a huge amount.
They throw it to him a lot.
Yeah, they like to throw the football. They're going to throw it up there 45 times. You're going to have some chances, my friend. But Trevor Lawrence will have some chances, and the offense is going to have to deliver.
The Drive of the Day, driven by your local Ford dealers.
Dan, they delivered on this drive. It was a big answer drive. The Titans had gone up 10-0. Jamal Agnew, our guy here for Jags Report Live, big day. Had a big spark of a return. Couple of Evan Ingram first down catches. And I want to show this throw then, because this throw, what is this? This is the talent of Trevor. How does he make that throw? That's the best 3-yard throw gain I've ever seen.
Yeah, we was on the sideline like, did everyone see that? Like, he was just across the whole field. You don't see that often.
This one's more typical, right?
And this was big, Andre, because you guys were down 10-0. And you're like, okay, we took a couple punches here. We got to get something back. And for the offense to respond at that point was really important at that time of the game, wasn't it?
Yeah, of course, because 10-0 and 10-7 look a lot different.
Yeah.
So us going back onto the field changed our mentality a little bit. Like, okay, we're right where we need to be.
And what I love about this team, and they're so young, but they never you never seem to panic, though.
No.
You get behind, it's okay. You've been down 17 points against the Raiders, the Cowboys. You're down 10 here. It's okay. 60 minutes. Where does that mentality come from for you guys? It's such a young group.
Yeah. I think it's the leadership, but most importantly, when you expect to win, you're not worried about the score in the first quarter and second quarter. You got to just stay through. And like even in this game, we was down until 3 minutes left.
Yeah.
So it's just about understanding that we're going to win the game. Just stay calm. So.
Yeah, there is that confidence. There's a little magic around this football team right now. The Jags actually are 3-0 at home this year when they're down by 10 points or more. How crazy is that?
You got to look in that camera and at least give us a puff of that stogie, man.
Hey, Logan Cook's been around here a bit. There have been times we called him the MVP of this football team when they struggled. He was really good the other night.
I thought there were no tobacco products allowed at CIA Field.
Hey, whatever you want when you're the AFC South champs.
Yeah!
Because it's always the Jags. Dan here at the Sneakers in Jax Beach. Jags Report Live. Brent Martineau, Dan Hicken, and Andre Cisco. Isn't it wild how it was always the Jags has just caught fire?
It's really amazing. Like, we talk about it all the time in the locker room because obviously Dewey was the first one to say it, so we're always laughing in the meeting room about it. Because I seen the towels they're on eBay getting sold. Like, it's unbelievable.
It is pretty crazy, and all this goes back to, you said leadership in the last segment. It's just amazing the job Doug Peterson has done. I mean, turn this around. You were here last year, and guys are finally starting to tell, like, hey, it was bad last year, and it's now turned into this. You experienced that. What does that mean, this whole 18 months?
Yeah, it just makes you more grateful for receiving the leadership that we have now from the DC to everyone around is just like really complimentary in terms of leadership.
And speaking of the DC, he deserves some credit as well. Your defense has played terrific. Now, we always feel like we got to throw it's going to change starting this week because it's Herbert, right? And you haven't played the greatest of quarterbacks the last 3 weeks. But my gosh, you guys have got the job done. And on Saturday night, when they needed you the most, the defense delivered. The offense was struggling. They only had 222 yards. Yeah. That's the second lowest of the entire season. You guys had to shut them out in the second half, and you were able to keep getting them to punt, Talk about Caldwell and what he's been able to bring and the schemes that seem to be working for you guys.
He kind of adds to the sense of calmness throughout the game that we talk about.
Yeah.
So it's like the intensity on the field raises because of our leaders, Foye, and all the guys up front. But mainly, coach is consistent with the calls, and we know what to expect. We're able to just play fast.
And what's interesting here is the Jags played the Chargers in Week 3, but that tape is going to have to be thrown out by L.A. This defense has some new looks since really halfway through the year, but especially since earlier in the season. Let's check the injury report, and here's the story. Mike Williams, Joey Bosa, those guys got banged up in this game. They didn't have to play in the game, but Mike Williams left on a cart with back spasms.
Well, it looked bad there.
Yeah, it did.
But the reports are that he's had the MRI. He avoided a serious injury, and that they kind of expect him to progress enough to play during the week. But, man, and I suppose, Andre, you want their best anyway. You want to go see how you stack up against those guys, right?
Yeah, I mean, everyone already gives us a bunch of excuses for why where we are. So, bring them all.
Yeah. Bring them all. They're all coming on Saturday. A special moment before this game last Saturday for DeMar Hamlin, and it's been a week that everybody's been touched by it. You were in that prayer circle at midfield. What was that moment like for you as a football player?
It's special. I'm someone that's into my faith, and I'm a prayer warrior myself. So to have everyone at midfield praying before the game, whether you're playing them or not, it's special.
I'm still amazed at what could have been a tragic story has turned into such a wonderful story.
Right.
So many good stories of people coming together, including NFL football players, but the communities. He's back home in Buffalo tonight, which is great news. So I don't know if you've crossed paths with Damar Hamlin at all throughout. He played a bit.
Yeah, I mean, we played at college all 3 years. So I got to watch him play firsthand, and we all had our own, safety battles in the ACC. So we all knew each other. I can't say I was friends with him, but just to see it happen, it was heartbreaking at the moment. But to see where it's gone now has been cool.
It was an unprecedented moment a week ago this Monday night. We bring in Action Sports Jack's Olivia Tassley. She has more on just how rare this is in the sport of football.
This injury report is brought to you by Flagler Health, orthopedic specialists.
Over the last week, Damar Hamlin has made what doctors are saying is substantial progress on his road to recovery. While this is a massive relief and the news we've all been waiting for, some people can't help but think, could this happen again? I went to Flagler Hospital to speak with the chief of cardiology, Dr. Vincent Caracciolo, to talk about the rarity of this medical emergency and if there are ways to protect players.
It really does take a perfect storm, a lightning strike, for something bad like this to happen. The data clearly shows that the incidence of this mainly happens in people between the ages of 15 and 25. 95% of the cases are boys or men. And they think it has something to do with the shape of the chest and the stiffness of the chest. The way that the impacts occur in football tend to occur in places around the chest, but not necessarily where a very specific part of the body, a small, hard, blunt part of the body, strikes the heart at such a precise time.
Do you think there's going to be changes possibly to the padding that the players wear to prevent this from happening?
So interesting, in the animal studies, when they've applied padding, it didn't change the, if you were able to still direct the projectile in the right location, the padding did not help.
Damar's road to recovery is still a long one to go down, but doctors say he's on the right path to a full recovery. For the Flagler Health Plus Injury Report, I'm Olivia Tassley, Action Sports Jax.
I always think it's interesting, the evolution of football teams and rosters.
Yes.
Corey Peters wasn't even on the roster halfway through the year, and he's making big-time plays against Derrick Henry. He was big Saturday night, wasn't he?
Yeah, no, he was, because I'm seeing it from the back end. I was like, oh, no, Corey doing his thing right now.
Yeah.
So it was good to see.
Terrific.
And how about the longest-tenured Jaguar, Tyler Shatley, getting to go to the playoffs again? Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee award. You know what? You never hear his name, Dan. He's played excellent in place of Ben Barch.
He stayed in Jacksonville his whole career, and he's a great story, and he's just a good guy, and happy for him.
Think about Evan Ingram. Think about Christian Kirk. Think about
look at you.
Arden Key.
Look
Think about drafting Andre Cisco. Trent Baalke going to get some love around here or what?
Is he?
He should.
You guys love Trent Baalke? There you go. I gave him a little bit of love.
I got a little bit of love.
A little bit of love.
He made the sunshine and rainbows board. Hey, we got a big national championship game tonight. I know you're a Syracuse guy. Georgia, TCU, who do you got?
I'm for a TCU win. Love a Cinderella story, so I'll take them.
Now, that's not going to sit well with Trayvon Walker and Tyson Campbell.
No.
Who's got the dogs tonight? Anybody got the dogs tonight? We got a Georgia Bulldog over there. We got a lot of chat. Not really. All Gator fans. That's why I see all the Gator fans. They don't want the dogs to win.
I see.
They're like, the gap is wide, isn't it, Hickens?
There are a few who say SEC. I've never understood.
I don't get it either.
You can't root for your rival to win more. It just doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't. Hey, man, go get another W at that place on Saturday night.
Give Cisco. It's
going to be electric.
Let's do it.
All right. Andre Cisco, Jags Report Live. Appreciate you coming out all season long.